Hello everybody, welcome back to Alicia Online, and today we're going to be doing a tutorial video on stats. Last time I did breeding for you guys, and then with the first video I just did a whole overview of the game. So we're going to get right into stats today. I already covered a couple of this stuff here and there, a couple of these things in the first video and in the breeding video because it all ties in together. So some things may be repeated, but that is okay. It's good to hear. So everything you need to know about the game is based on, like when it comes to stats, is based on control and speed, really. That's all you really need to worry about. I don't even think strength and any of this other stuff matters in this game. So when it comes to this game, you have two things. You have speed races and magic races. That's it. That's all you need to know is either speed or magic. So control is, let's start from the top. We'll just start from the top. So agility increases your dash speed, increases sliding ability, decreases speed loss while sliding. And then for the magic effect, it increases shield duration every 10 points is... Oh, it actually disappeared on me. Every 10 points increases the shield critical rate. So basically what that means is when you're racing and you see you get the shield ability, you get to use your shield and it'll stay on for longer, and then every 10 points you put into agility will increase its critical strike chance. So when you have a shield and it is a critical strike shield, like it's basically an enhanced shield, and then other people's critical magic will be protected by you. So their critical magic will not hit you if you have a critical shield. But say you just have a regular shield on and you get hit by a critical magic by somebody else, it will still hurt you and your shield will not protect you. So that's pretty important when it comes to like critical strikes and learning about that stuff, like critical chance. And then we get into control here. So this decreases the speed loss while running uphill, decreases collision shock, and increases downhill running speed. And then the magic effect is increases filling of magic bar. So this here is what people like to use a lot for magic races. I personally don't. I feel like I'm a pro racer and a pro player when it comes to this game because I completely got obsessed with this game back when I first found out about it years ago. I got completely obsessed. I learned everything I possibly could about it. I played every day, all day for months. Like, I became a huge pro player. I definitely got obsessed. And it is really fun, and that's probably why I got so obsessed. It's just a really good game overall. So after learning different stats and different, like, play styles, I've learned that speed is just overall the best. Even for magic games, you want speed. Control is good to have. Like, if you want to have control and speed, you sadly shouldn't do both. You should pick one to have the highest and then maybe have control be like your second highest or something. We'll get into that. And then speed is increases your boost, increases your speed boost, simple and easy. For magic, it increases the duration of the boost, increases duration of Team Magic's spellbook, and then every 10 points, god dang it, why does it keep doing that? Every 10 points increases the critical chance of boost and spellbook. So this is why I think speed is overall the best for magic games and racing games, because obviously when you're playing the speed games, you're going to want speed, that's just what it is. But when you're playing the magic games, you're going to want speed as well, really, because it does actually help your magic anyways. It even says increases the duration of your boost, so when you get a speed magic item to use when you're racing, it'll be better than everybody else's speed boost because your horse has the max speed, so it'll boost longer and faster. And then it increases the duration of Team Magic spellbook. There is, if you go down here to games, we do have Magic Team and I don't even know, Guild Battle, I don't know. But we have Magic Team and then we have Speed Team. So that might only be something pertaining to Magic Team races. I'm not sure because I don't actually I never ever play Magic Team races. They're not that fun for me. I'd have to look and see what Magic is spellbook because I know certain ones obviously have certain names. And I don't really remember any of them being called spellbook, but I could be wrong. It might be the Purple Cloud. It might not be. So we're going to skip past that part. It may not really be important unless you play Team Magic. And then it says every 10 points increases the critical chance of your boost and again spellbook. So I'm gonna have to play a race and see if I get, I don't know what spellbook would be. I wonder if it would tell me. So go back to horses here. And like I said, your critical chance is important because you want your speed boost to always crit. And obviously, if you have this bar maxed or high, it's going to crit a lot more often, and that will potentially win you the race, to be honest. Because if you can get a critical chance, a critical strike on your speed boosts and your big speed boosts, because there's a regular speed boost and then there's an enhanced like Firebird speed boost. If you can get crits on those, you're winning. Like, especially if you're at the end of the game and you've got like 3 people ahead of you and you're so close to winning, you get that speed boost, you win because you're faster than everybody else. That's really why speed's so important, because of the speed boost and the crit chance. And then we get down to strength, increases the duration of boost. That makes sense. That's just kind of what it is for speed. And then the magic effect is increases the duration of Phoenix Feather, and that's the Firebird speed I was just telling you about. It's called Phoenix Feather. So that is a extreme speed boost, basically. Just a big speed boost. And then it says every 10 points increases the critical chance of Phoenix Feather. So strength is good to have when you have speed horses. You probably want to increase your strength a little bit, but honestly, again, don't worry about it, because you're not going to get the Phoenix Feather that often when racing. You might get it once, maybe twice. Mostly once, like per race. And you might not even get it during that race, because it's not the most common item to obtain, because it's more rare, because it's a bigger speed boost. They're not going to give it to you all the time. And then we have Spirit. So it increases the speed of chasing Feather. So Spirit, I think, is purely... I mean, it has a lot more for speed races. It doesn't do much for magic races. So it'll increase the speed chance of your Feather. So in a speed game, I'll have to show you guys. I did show you one speed game. Yeah, I did. So in the speed game, in my first video, you see that I'm chasing feathers and like collecting feathers. So if you can stay in the same line of the feather and like make sure you're collecting each one, you will actually get faster. So that's a plus. And then long boost time of chasing with feather. So you get more boosts. You'll get a bigger boost and a better boost as you're following the people in front of you and the feathers, the line of the feather. And then it says feathers are obtainable longer. So certain feathers will disappear. I think the feathers disappear kind of fast in that game if you don't get to them in time, because feathers only show up behind people. So what they want you to do is like focus on chasing that person and staying right in the line of them and collecting those feathers, and then that'll give you speed boost and you'll be able to pass them and catch up. Because speed races are quite hard when everyone's the same speed, because in this game you can only have obviously a speed stat go so far. So you're all going to be generally the same speed. So if you can chase somebody and collect those feathers and get really good at that, you will then be able to pass them. So it says that it gives you a longer time to obtain the feathers, because the feathers will disappear if you're not getting them fast enough. And then it says for magic, decreases the time you remain shocked in ice, which is actually pretty good. And then every 10 points increases the critical chance of ice, which is also really good. If you get crit ice, that's so good in this game. So that's what all the abilities do. Now, with that being said, I still stay by it. I stick by my words. Speed is the best stat and the only stat you want to increase. Honestly, you just want to go for speed. Unless your play style is more just throw a bunch of magic everywhere and see if you can win that way. But it gets messy and it gets hard that way because the game itself is just messy. Like when you guys saw my gameplay, there's magic flying everywhere all the time. You're always getting hit by stuff, because when you have magic horses, that's all they do is pump out magic. You're not actually going faster than everybody. You're not going to get speed boosts better than anybody. So you're not really trying to win with speed and magic. You're just trying to win with pure magic luck. And that doesn't always work out in your favor, honestly, because there's so many magic abilities in this game that could hurt you and hinder you and slow your horse down. It's kind of a loss. That's why I don't do magic. But it might be more comfortable for people to use magic horses in the beginning, like control horses, when they're not used to playing the game and not used to the magic in the game. Speed would be harder for them, I'd feel. But like I said, I'm a pro player now. I've been playing forever. I choose speed. I always do speed horses. And why? The reason I say you only want to pick one stat for your horses is because you only have so many stats. As you see here, total stat points, you only get so many stat points, and then your horse can only be leveled up to level 30. So you get 1 point per level, and that only gives you 30 points. So it gives you not too many options for abilities, is what I'm saying. And if you wanted to do some control and some speed, you definitely can. But I have noticed that you benefit far greater from doing a full speed bar and not just some speed and some control. You really want just a full speed bar, or at least a full magic bar. If you're going to go like all the way with something, you better just pick one, because it's not going to benefit you much if you're only putting like 10 stats in magic, and then you're putting most of it in speed, but you also want some strength. It's a waste of time because your horse is never going to be as fast as everybody else's if you don't max it. Your horse is never going to get as much magic if you don't max it. Like, there's no point in dispersing your points, is what I'm saying. You don't want to put your points into multiple stats because it's not going to be high enough and it's not going to be worth it in the end, because it's not going to matter. Because as you see, like here, it says every 10 points increases your critical chance. So if you're only putting 10 points into strength and your strength's only at like 20, let's say, because mine's at 20, it's not going to do shit for my Phoenix Feather. Like, it's barely going to ever help you because it'll only increase your crit chance by so much, you know what I mean? So you want the highest crit chance possible, and you want the most in that stat possible to give your horse the best possibility of winning, you know what I mean? So that's the best way I can explain that. Just pick one or the other. Don't go putting your points into everything because you only get so many points per horse in the end. Sorry, I'm touching my eye. I'm allergic to my cat that I have now, and everything else in the world, like dust and pollen and weed and who knows what. So my eyes get super irritated, but we're gonna work through it. Next part I need to talk about is, yep, the stat points here. Now, I mentioned this in the breeding video because it's important for breeding, but each horse, when breeding, can only get a max total points, stat points of 178, I'm pretty sure. Well, that one's 88, but that's because it's leveled up. Let's see if I have a better... Okay, here we go. Level 1, well, class 1 is what they call it. It's a class 1. And as you see here, its total stat points that it has collected is 178. That is the max amount of stat points that you can get from breeding. So that's basically the best, that's the highest, that's the most, you know what I mean? If you have something at like 170 or 173, you're probably going to want to breed again and try and get 178 because every point matters. Like, seriously, every point matters because, like they said, every 10 points increases your strike, your critical chances. You want as many points as possible. That's why it's so important to have the max stat points here. Every time you're breeding a grade 8 horse, you want the stat points. To learn more about breeding and, you know, how to get the best horse and all that, go to my breeding video for that. I'll link it in the description below. So, with that being said, this horse still is not the best horse because with its 178 points, even though that is the max points it can get, it's dispersed wrong. It's not dispersed well. As you see, I've got 56 in speed, I've got 56 in strength, I've got 23 in spirit, 23 in agility, and then 20 is actually like the base. That's like the lowest it can be when breeding. So this isn't a very good horse because its base stats are spread out way too much, and like I said, it only can go up to level 30, so you only have 30 points to work with after breeding. That's why you want the best stats possible and the most points in one stat when breeding a horse, so then when you level it up and you only get those 30 points, it can go into one bar and you can max it. Because one bar can be maxed once you're level 30 and you have 178 points all put into like mostly one bar. So for a better example, let's look at this horse. It's level 1, grade 8, has 92 points in speed, but it only has 173 total points. So that means more of these, because like I said, it has a max of 178, more of those points could have potentially went into speed, and then my bar could have been even higher. So then when I hit level 30, I could have a max speed bar and maybe even put a little bit into control for magic. So that's why these horses are only temporary for me, and I'm going to rebreed them and make sure they get the best points. Even for this horse here, as you see, it's level 17 and it only has 93 in speed. It was not the best bred horse. It definitely could have had more points, but I kept it for the potential. The potential is really good. So I think I've covered that. At least, you know, make sure you get a horse with 178 total stats. Make sure you try and, when you're breeding horses, get the most possible points in one bar, not multiple, because it'll save you in the long run and give your horse a way better chance at winning. And now we're going to move on to, let's see what the class says. So it'll even tell you here, earn 1 skill point for every class up, base speed is increased every time, and then class 30 is the maximum. So that makes sense. That's why I say speed is so important, because your speed's increased anyways with this, but you want to boost it with this, you know. So then you have your energy bar. Racing consumes energy and you cannot race after that. So that's pretty simple. And then we got fatigue. Your horse will eventually get like really worn out and get fatigued. And right here it says your horse will not gain experience if this bar is full. Fatigue is reset every morning. So it'll get tired if you use it too much throughout the day, and like I said, you'll stop getting experience, so your horse won't level up. And then we have potential. So this was more of a breeding thing, but this is really good stat-wise because every horse you have, once you become more of a pro and you're, you know, really getting into the whole racing and breeding thing, you really want to try and get horses that have potential. It'll save you in the long run. It'll definitely help you have a better chance at winning the races than other people because you have a one-up on them. So this horse here has Eagle Eye, so its aiming range of a bolt is increased. So when you're racing and you get your Thunderbolt magic ability, it can only aim so far, but if you have the Eagle Eye, you can shoot them from like way across the map if you really wanted. So that's a big plus because it could potentially stop the leader from winning and backing them up, you know. Kind of like the blue shell in, well no, the blue shell's more like the Cloud. Never mind, that's a different ability. So let's show you another one here. I do have Bulldoze here. Potential, less affected by collisions with objects, which is a huge thing because sometimes the drifting in the game is really hard to do. And you'll end up running into a wall, or you'll run into some wood, or who knows what, right? So this is really good because it'll slow your horse down less. Because every time you run into something, your horse stops. It slows down. So that's a really good thing to have. And this is just good for the horse's stats all around. You really just want horses with potential. Like this one has overprotective, so the duration of the shield is increased. Now as you play races and level up, this will level up as well, and the potential of this gets even higher. And this is probably one of the best ones you can have because you want your shield to last as long as possible, because that means you're running way longer than everybody else. You're not getting stopped by magic. You're not slowing down. You're just straight running, because the shield will protect you from everything that isn't a crit. As long as, if you get a crit shield though, this helps the same way. Like it'll also affect your crit shields, but either way, any shield you get, regular shield or crit shield, you want it to last the longest possible. So that's really good. And then we got luck here. The more luck, the lower the risk of injuries. So as you play the game, say you're using your horse and you've already done like 10 races with it, you're probably going to get an injury pretty soon. Like if you keep grinding with the same horse and overworking it, its fatigue will go up, its energy will go down, and you'll start getting injury. But if you have 4 clovers here, it's a much less likely chance of getting injuries, because injuries will slow down your horse, and then you have to either cure it or pick a different horse to race. And it's pretty easy to get horse cures, like horse items to cure your horse with. If you go to horse care, you go over to heal. There's a, like, it's not too hard to get. I have 309 of this muscle treatment, and that's the most common injury, is a muscle, like you'll get a muscle tear or something. You can just treat that. So it's not that big a deal, but I'm pretty sure it does slow down your horse if it gets injured. So you want to watch out for that. As you see, some of my horses do not have good luck. There's something you can do to increase it. I'm not quite sure. I don't remember what it is. I'd have to look it up again. And as you see with this one, oh, not that one, I guess. Where was the one we were just on? This one here, even though its energy is low, its fatigue hasn't gone up because I barely used it. I cannot remember what brings that up and down, but I know for sure when the fatigue goes up, it starts to go down. But this one doesn't even have fatigue up. I haven't even used this horse in a while. I don't know why it has such poor luck, really. It might just be a luck of the draw thing. Like, that's just what your horse has. But I know you can increase it somehow. I just don't remember. I'd have to look into it. It doesn't tell me, though. And let's see, what else? So, as I've said with breeding, this goes hand in hand, the grade thing. You always want grade 8 horses. You want nothing less than grade 8 every single time. Because if you have a grade 7 horse or a grade 6 horse, they can't get the max stats. They're going to have much lower stats, and they're not going to be as good, and they're never going to be as fast. So you always want to have grade 8 horses, because grade 8 horses can get the most possible stats and the highest stats when breeding. Obviously, if you're first starting out and you're just playing the game, you're not going to be able to get grade 8 horses right away. You're going to have to build your way up. But you always want grade 8 for the best possible stats. And the lineage does not matter in this case. Lineage is just for coats. It's just purely for coat details, so you can breed coats and whatnot. As you can see, there's only one Palomino in this lineage. That's why it's +1. And let's see. That might be all you really need to know for stats. I mean, I thought it was going to take longer to explain, but that's really it. You just want to make sure you have your bar maxed out. Like, as you see, I sadly did not get lucky on this horse with 1 point missing. She's already max of 30, and I put every point possible into speed. And because when I bred her at grade 8, she was missing probably 1 point from the speed bar that could have been used. It's not really a big deal. 1 point isn't going to make it too crazy, but I'm probably missing out on that critical chance by not having that 1 extra point for every 10 points. You know, it increases your critical chance. So you want to watch out for that with breeding. You want to make sure you get the highest possible breeding bar, like speed bar, not breeding bar. Highest possible speed bar when breeding. You want to make sure there's the max points possible in it, which I think is like 98 or 99. If you have a horse with like 98 or 99 points in speed, you're pretty much maxed out with the speed bar with breeding. That's probably the most you can get in that bar from a grade 8 horse. But she's the fastest horse I have. As you can see, there's almost no points in these, and sadly, more of the points went into strength, which is good for the Phoenix Feather. Actually, you want strength and speed hand in hand for speed horses, but one of these points definitely should have went into speed. Too bad though. She's still generally a really good horse. I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't feel like I am at the same time. So I'm going to show you guys, though, how well speed works in a race, just to show you guys what I was talking about with the critical chances and your speed and your boost and your durations and all that. And then I'm going to show you a horse that, like, has no speed and isn't, you know, like this one has, like, no speed, probably won't get the most chances and all that. So I'll show you the difference between those horses there. And then
I'm going to come in there and I'm going to put my foot in your ass if you say and then again.
I do have one magic horse right here. She's not the highest. She's actually the first horse I not ever got, but she's like one of the first horses I ever had out of my first big group of horses back when I started getting grade 8 horses and I was finally, you know, leveling up in the game and getting further. I kept her. I've had her for years. I think it'll show it right here. Where is it? It did tell me something. Right here. Born in 2021. So that was clearly, you know, many years ago now. And she's definitely one of the first horses I ever had. And I've just kept her for so long because I used to, like I said, when you're first playing the game, you think control is like what you need. You think magic horses are the best. They're not. That's why she's a magic horse, because back then I was only doing magic horses and I didn't realize that speed horses were better. So she's my magic horse. I'll show you how that works compared to speed horses. So let's get right into that so you guys can see how the stats affect the horses in the races and in the games. Alright, we're gonna switch up my outfit too. I'm kind of feeling switching it up now because I did get a new outfit. So I did just get this. Well, I didn't just get this. I've had this for a while, but I finally got the piece that goes with it, which is this here. Super cool. Love it. The hair actually goes good with it. Let's see what other hairs I got. Plus, we can change the colors of them, too. I can show you guys that. Ooh, that kind of goes with it. That's pretty cool. Okay, so we'll just stick with this one, because the black goes with it. It looks very Cleopatra vibe. And then we're going to take the bunny ears off. And that is it. That's all we need for her. And then the horse should still have the same... Oh, did my outfit... Oh, it ran out. Okay, let's buy a new outfit to match this one. Time to go shopping. Let's see if I can get a Egyptian-esque saddle going on here. There we go. There it is. Beautiful. Now, this is actually an older set. An older saddle set. It's been out for a long time, but it's still really cool. We'll get that set, and then we're going to buy the protectors with it. Yeah, I think it's Scarab set. Yeah. Horseshoes. Oh, wait. It might be a Pharaoh set. Oh, shoot. Hold on. Where was I again? Yeah, protectors. There it is. There we go. Pharaoh set. Boom. Yeah, because the saddle is a Pharaoh saddle, right? Yep, Pharaoh set. Okay. And then I did the horseshoe. Now we gotta do the shield. Pharaoh set. Boom, look at that fancy shield. Very nice. I think that's it. Because I already did the horseshoes. Saddle, shield. Yep, okay. So let's buy that. Now, I guess... Oh, this is probably what I was missing. Because horse armor does actually... help your stats out when you have a full set going. So let's show you guys that when I go in here. It'll tell you when you have the full set on if I hover over it here. If it wants to load for me. Well, it tells me right here, Pharaoh set. Magic is it says increased chance of critical spells. So that's really good because you'll just get crits more often. That's why it's important to get a good set. Now, it's sad because, again, they only last for a week. You don't get to keep these armors full time. which gets pricey, so I can't always do this, which sucks, but definitely get good armor and always buy sets of armor because you'll always get the increased chance of crit spell when you have a full set. If I can just get in here and... There we go. Okay, so some of it's still in Korean is it Korean language, sadly? Yeah, I think this is a Korean game. But they did not translate it all for us, but down here it says the effects will be applied after completing the set, which is what we have, and that's really it. I don't really know what else that says. I think that's all the sets do. I don't think each piece has any individual aspect to it. It's just simply when you have a set, you get your chance of magical critical spells. And that's that. So we're all blinged out, we're ready to go. Let's game. Oh, now this is the tough part, finding a good match to join. I might as well do this one. There's only one person missing, and I'll join that. Now there should still be an Easter event going on. Now we just have to wait for their race to end. Okay, so we're ready to go. Well, once everyone else is ready to go. You can only have 8 people per hobby. I did that last time. Per lobby. I love that it still shows my old outfit. It'll do that sometimes because the game hasn't fully rendered that you change your outfit until you do a race, I'm pretty sure. But I like that it always shows cool like pictures of me and my horse together. So I didn't get to show you guys this map, and this map's hard to race on. I struggle with this a little bit. And there are usually a lot of cool shortcuts in this game too. In this, well, not every map has cool shortcuts, but most of them do. So I have to collect magic from the track just to do the carnival. I'll explain that as we go. Oh jeez, I messed that up. This is my warm-up race, so I'm probably going to be really bad, honestly. But we're going to do what we can. Now, you don't always want to use the shield. I kind of messed up and used it right away. Probably shouldn't have, but I did. Oh, yep, definitely shouldn't have. Oh, I'm crashing and burning. Oh, yep. And this time, I did move my camera, thankfully, so you guys can see the blue magic bar on the left. So keep an eye on my magic bar, how fast it's going up, and how many magic items I get each time, because my speed horses will obviously not get magic as often as magic horses would, but it's basically the same because once you increase your speed to a certain amount, it does increase your blue bar and how much it goes up. I'm trying to talk a little louder because the game's loud. I don't know. Oh shoot, I'm so gonna crash and burn. That's a critical flame. Oh, yeah, big dead. Big dead. Okay, so far off to a rough start. But as you guys saw in the beginning, I had a crit shield right away because of my, and there's a crit right there right away with the dragon flame. Probably because of my armor, which increases my crit chance. And I think we said something about the speed too. Oh, that'll increase my boost, my crit boost though. But the armor really does help. It really does increase your magic speed. I mean your magic crit. Look at that, critical. So just hit everybody. So I feel like the armor sets are definitely a little OP and it increases your crit chance a lot. Okay, here's a perfect time to show you guys the crit speed. So as you saw, I just got a critical magic boost because my horse is a speed horse and I have the armor on. And as you see, I'm passing like at least 3 people. And now I'm in 5th place, that's a plus. So it does give you a good boost. And now I'm back with the group, so I have a better chance of winning. Not in this not in this case, sadly, because this map only has 1 round, like 1 loop. So you kind of just lose, you know, most of the time. That map's really hard to race on. But Easter event, so that's a plus. I at least get something. We'll do one more match just so you guys can see like how much my horse gets crit magic, how fast I am, how often I get the crit magic boosts, like the speed boosts, things like that. Like I was saying in the first 2 videos, this game is no joke. It is hard. It is a hard racing game, honestly. It takes a lot of skill after learning the game. It takes a lot of mechanics. Like, you have to just know the stats and which horse to use and get your magic sets. There's a lot to it, basically what I'm saying. There's a lot within the game that you wouldn't actually think about, but there's a lot stat-wise and a lot skill-wise. You need to be skilled, you need to be good at racing, have a good horse, good stats. You gotta make sure you're critting the magic all the time. Crit magic is the best. The more you can crit, the better. Collect magic from the track again. So carnivals only happen when you have 8 people in a race. You have to have 8 people in your lobby to get carnivals, and then carnivals basically give you either money or gems, which is really valuable. You want gems and you want to win. So over here on the right, you'll see it says collect magic from the track. That is my carnival quest. And if I complete that, I then get entered into the carnival, and then I shouldn't have used that. That was just because I'm talking. But it might last long enough. It did. As you saw, it lasted long enough for at least one item. Not the flame, sadly. But the duration is pretty good. But my horse is a speed horse, so my shield duration isn't really going to last long, you know what I mean? But when you have crit shields, it does last longer. Your crit shield will last longer than a regular shield, which is why mine lasted a little longer. Anyways, what I was saying is, if you complete your carnival quest, you get a chance to enter the carnival at the end of the game, and then if you win, you get 700 gems, or you get 700 money, or whatever the reward is. So it's really good to do. And that's why a lot of people prefer 8 versus 8 in a match, because then you get carnival races. And as you guys saw, I just passed everybody, and now I'm in first because I got a critical strike magic boost again, like speed boost. And I just soared through everybody, and now I'm in first. That's why magic isn't always that important, because you want to be able to just get ahead of everybody any chance you can. Especially in a magic race when you're getting everything thrown at you, that speed boost will save you. Now, as you see, I'm already getting magic quite fast. I don't even really need a magic horse, because why would I if I'm getting magic fast enough as it is already with my speed horse? Because your speed horse will increase your blue bar, like how fast your blue bar goes up. And as you're seeing, it's going up relatively fast, even though I'm a speed horse. It's pretty good. That's why nobody really does control horses, because all control horses do is give you more magic more often. But I mean, you're not going to be able to keep up with everybody. Last spurt. Hopefully I get a speed boost here because I'm at the end. This game is just like Mario Kart. If you're like last in place and it's close to the end of the game, they will usually give you a speed boost. This time, sadly, I did not get a speed boost, so I'm just going off luck here. Yeah, 5th place. I got lucky. Everyone was pretty neck and neck. Did not get a speed boost at the end, but if I were to have gotten a speed boost, I would have won. That's just how it is, because my horse is faster, and I would have gotten a crit most likely, so it would have been a crit speed boost. That's why speed horses are the best. You just don't really need control horses, and I'll show you the difference after this. And here's the carnival. As you see, Shart won. Alright, we're gonna leave, go get a different horse. So we're gonna get my control horse out. Haven't used her in a long time because she's a control horse. Oh yeah, I want to switch my pet too. Let's switch my pet. Butterflies don't match right now. Let's do this one because it matches the gold and it matches the gold and the armor and the black hair that I got. Yeah, this is my super cute, cool snake. I love this snake. Super nice. Very nice. Alright. Let's get back into it. They're waiting, so we'll go in there. Now, if I were the leader of this lobby, I'd be up front where she is usually. I think if you win a race, it might switch you to the front too, but because I joined last, I'm back here. See how they're behind me now too? It's just joining order. I love looking at other people's pets and armor and horses, just see what they have. Cool stuff. I just love this lobby vibe that we get in this game. I think is the coolest thing. Why is everyone leaving? Probably people get impatient in this game and they don't like to wait around. That's probably why they're leaving. They just get super impatient. And why do people... Okay, I'm actually gonna leave myself now because it's been like 2 minutes. They definitely were taking too long. They were probably AFK, so I'm gonna join this one down here. We're sadly gonna have to wait again for them to finish the race, but it looks like it's almost over. It's at 2 minutes and 39 seconds. Usually each race is only about 2:40 to 3 minutes long, maybe 3:10 at most. So we'll get a race here in a second. But that was ridiculous. They actually probably were AFK. Like the leader was probably AFK and they weren't starting the game. Or sometimes what'll happen is people won't ready up over here and then we won't be able to start because they're not ready. That was definitely ridiculous. This map isn't too bad. I like this map. It's fun to race on. It isn't too hard. It's the only snowy map we have. So this is the only place you can get snow eggs, like ice eggs, I should say. Winter eggs, whatever. Icy eggs. Nobody falls out of the racetrack. Now that's actually good for this map because I don't think it's possible for anyone to fall out of the racetrack in this map. It is possible in other maps. That's why that's a hard carnival quest sometimes depending on the map. But we got this. I only used it because I don't need it. It wasn't important. But if you're seeing my bar on the left there, it is kind of going up. Wow, I just got beat up. It is going up faster a tiny bit than it would with my speed horse, but overall not really. So it's like, why get it? But I do have good armor on, which helps with the crit strikes at least, so that'll give me a good win there. Of course, they put ice there. I hit it. That's fine though. I still get an item. So sometimes when you get hit by ice and you're also running into an item collector, you'll most likely get the item still. But if you get hit by ice, it usually gets rid of your magic item. Also, sorry if I'm talking so loud. These headphones work really well, and this game sounds really loud to me right now, so I'm probably talking really loud, but I want to make sure you guys can hear me and the game at the same time. That's a good boost. As you guys saw, it was a crit boost, but as you also saw, it doesn't last nearly as long because I'm not a speed horse. So it's a good little boost, but not really. I'm only getting crits a lot because of my armor and because I'm a control horse. That probably helps with the magic crit. But I was getting them just as much with my speed horse. And I was also getting my bar just as much as I would now with my speed horse, I feel. So that's why speed horses are all in all way better. I feel like the stats in this game aren't the best. Like, I feel like it probably needs a stat balance change. You know, some stats probably need to be worked better with its RNG and all the percentages and whatnot. Because magic horses probably should get their magic bar way faster than a speed horse. But if you max a speed horse's bar, you're still going to get it just as fast probably. You know what I mean? Like, they should probably update the stats on control horses and make that a little better. Because they're just kind of useless in my opinion. Like, I'm in 8th right now, and I mean, okay, I got the Phoenix Feather, but I'm not going to win because it's too late, and my horse isn't that fast, you know, because it's a control horse. So there's that. It's just not the best. Cool map, though. You know, I always love racing on this map. And we do get to enter the carnival because there was no chance for us to fall off the map in this one. So everybody gets it. Ah, so close. 2 away. Well, 1 away from me, basically. Okay, so that was a magic horse. I'm only going to do 1 race with that because I think you guys get the gist. Like, my crits were about the same. My magic bar was about the same. My speed was not that good. The duration of the boosts were not that good. And that's just why we don't do control horses. You know, it's just not worth it. And speed is the best. Speed is superior. And you also want to do it like a tiny bit strength just for the Phoenix. But not really. You mostly you want the most possible in speed. And then if you get any extra points, strength is your second best option. But I recommend always putting every point possible into speed first before you do anything else. Like, get the max possible points you can from breeding, which is the 178. Where is it? Oh my god. Right here, 178. You want the most possible points. Put it all into speed if you can from your breeding. And then when you're leveling up your horse, only put it into speed strictly until you get to level 30. And if you happen to have points left from leveling up, maybe put it into something else, like strength, or whatever you're feeling. You know, you can read them and see what you like more. But that's my best advice there. That's what I got for you guys today. Pretty simple. Just go speed horse every time. Always do speed. And I wish I would have known that in the beginning of the game because it took me a long time, you know, years to get all these horses, speed horses, and get the best stats. It was really tough to transition. That's why I recommend if you have a control horse like this, It's hard to breed with because you'll end up like with horses like this where it's half speed, half strength, so you're not really gonna have a good time, an easy time breeding. So if you have the money, just go to the shop and then go to horses here and just pick up a speed horse. Just buy a horse that has more in speed. Right here, speed horse has 70 right here, and it's 47,000, and that's because it's got better stats than speed. It's got higher speed stat. So you really got to pay for it, which is why, you know, you pick and choose your battles. I personally just went through the bullshit and took my control horses and transitioned them slowly to speed horses by getting like horses like this and then just trying to focus on breeding the speed horses because they're really pricey. Like that was 47,000. That's really pricey. So unless you're doing events and getting a lot of money, not really recommended to buy them from the store, but hey, if you got the money, you might as well. It makes it easier on you already. And that's really all I have for this. You know, buy your armor, or like I said in my last my first introduction video, just go to items, collect this armor here, and it will increase your crit chance as well because it is a horse set. So if I hit claim and then I go to items here, you can see it says magic is increased because I have the set. It's a free set. You can collect it every day, but obviously you're stuck with the purple one every time. So if you want to switch it up, just get some money. And that is it for you guys. I will catch you in the next one. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, sorry if the audio might be a little off. I was definitely probably yelling while gaming. It just gets so intense and loud when I'm in those races. But all in all, I thought it was good. Hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys on the next one when I do another tutorial on pets and racing. Like actually the maps and the pets and the eggs and, you know, how to get all that stuff. The eggs are definitely harder to acquire, but we'll get into that. You guys saw in my first video, if you watched, that I did actually collect an egg. I got lucky on that one, honestly. And I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!